Okay, so now that we've been through the validate scope process here in the 6th edition of the PMBOK, part of PM City and the crowd training, let's review the process. So we had our inputs, and those inputs are, well, your project management plan. Because if we're validating whether or not we did the work, we kind of have to know, well, what was the plan for the work. So the project management plan, and that could be the requirements that we had planned for, the scope that were required for the anything, right? Anything that's in the plans that we need to check and verify, okay? So we're validating that the work was done. But we also need various other project documents, like maybe a requirements document that lists out a traceability of who's to do it and why and how come and anything else that we might need to look back on and to check. Also, we need some verifiable, let's put, let's make a wheel. And I'll put some measurements on there or something like that. But what we're doing here, when we verify, not validate, but verify the deliverables, what we're looking at is the correctness. And that is part of our quality control, or, the process of control quality. But we're checking to see that, was this the right color? Is this the right dimensions, weight, whatever that we're having to verify. So we have verifiable deliverables, plus any of the data that has maybe come through. So I'll just put a whole bunch of little points or maybe some graphs or charts or anything that might have been captured as we are performing the work. So work performance, and that right now is just the data. So there's kind of a key point there. So at the end we're going to have, information, make sense of this all. But right now it's just data. It's just a whole bunch of points, maybe a number of errors or just something that we're collecting as we do the work. Those are the inputs. Now, the tools and techniques. Well, we need to look it over. So as these verified deliverables come in, we're going to take a look at this. All right, it's been measured, it's been looked at in terms of the quality control, but now we're going to have to actually look at it under a different lens. So I'll draw like a magnifying glass that is looking down at it, and we're determining whether or not did it meet what we set out to do in terms of the requirements, like how does this meet the customer's want or the end users or our own needs, and in that case we are inspecting it, or inspection. And then 2, we have to decide, well, did it in fact meet everything we thought it would? If these are the points and these are the things that we say we're going to do or not do, did it in fact meet it? And so we have to have some way to decide on that. So we're going to decide, or decision making, right? There's going to be some kind of decision whether or not we in fact did it. And if we did it all, well, then we're done. If not, back it goes and keep working on it. If it is, yes, then all right, we're good. We can then go to the outputs, and that one output would be that this output or this deliverable has in fact done everything that we said we're going to do or expect of it, and has met both the scope requirements, has met the quality requirements, so it's correct, it's fulfilled our needs. And so in that case we have accepted that is in fact deliverable. And so whatever stakeholders are necessary to make that decision, accept it. And then when we had before that data, now we can make more sense of that data and put it into more formalized charts and reports and various other ways. But now it's not data anymore, but it's information. So it's still that work performance, but it's in more logical formats, in more completeness and more formality. Also, there might be, if this is not really working out, we need to switch things up, then we might need to have a request for change, or just simply a change request. And then, of course, that goes through the perform integrated change control process. And then we might even need to take those documents and update them. Maybe the requirements documentation or the traceability needs to be known that whoever was responsible for doing that is in fact done, or it's been accepted, or or anything else that has to be updated. And that is a quick review of the validate scope process here from the crowd training in PM City.